How does Actus Reus prove a property crime? Imagine someone walking into a store and taking a wallet without permission. How do we know they committed a crime? That's where Actus Reus comes into play. It's the physical part of a crime that shows someone actually did something wrong. When it comes to property crimes, Actus Reus is about what the person did or failed to do that interferes with someone else's property. To prove a property crime, the prosecutor needs to show that the defendant performed a specific act that is against the law. This could be physically taking property, damaging it, or destroying it. For example, if someone breaks a window to get into a house, the act of breaking the window is the Actus Reus. Or if a person intentionally sets fire to a car, the act of setting the fire is the physical act that proves the crime. A key part of Actus Reus is that the act must be voluntary. If someone accidentally knocks over a mailbox, that might not count. But if they intentionally hit it with a baseball bat, that's a clear voluntary act. Sometimes, failing to act can also be a crime. For example, if someone is legally responsible for protecting property and they ignore that duty, their omission can be part of Actus Reus. Another important point is that the property involved must belong to someone else. If you damage your own property, that's not a crime. But if you damage or take someone else's property, that's a different story. The law only considers acts that interfere with another person's ownership or control. Lastly, the act must cause some harm or interference. If someone takes a bike but leaves it untouched, that's theft. If they damage a fence, that's criminal damage. The physical act must result in some form of property harm or deprivation. From a defense perspective, it's about questioning whether the act was voluntary or unlawful. Maybe the defendant thought they had permission, or perhaps the property was abandoned. Sometimes, they can argue that their actions didn't cause the harm or that they didn't physically do anything at all. In short, Actus Reus proves a property crime by showing the defendant committed a physical act or omission that unlawfully interfered with someone else's property. Without this physical element, the charge can't stand. Defense strategies often focus on proving the act wasn't voluntary, wasn't unlawful, or that the property wasn't actually owned by someone else.